Often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Extreme Race Night to you all. Welcome to the Dread Broadcasting Network as we bring you live coverage from Atlanta Motor Speedway. The Extreme Motorsports 99 brings you the Great Clips 200 for round 2 of the Extreme Motorsports Camping World Truck Series here. I am your commentator, Sean Zulu. I am joined by my good friend and producer, Dave Everly. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing great, Sean. Ready to see some green flag racing, watching these trucks flying here at Atlanta.
Oh yeah, after having an amazing race last night in the K&N series with the Extreme Motorsports as well. And tonight, same track, same number of laps. So we're going to see exactly what these guys have in store for us. And Dave, before we start by telling us a little bit about tonight's race, please.
Well, taking a look here at the weather, Sean, we have an air temperature of 78 degrees, a track temperature of 86 degrees under partly cloudy conditions with the wind north about 2 miles an hour.
And the drivers do have a 65% fuel limit. That is 65%. So they do have to pit at least twice in order to be able to make it all the way for the full length of the race, which is 111 laps. That is 111,111. And they have one backup truck. So if they get wrecked out or have bad enough damage to slow down their performance, they do have one brand new one waiting. But once they use up that brand new one, then that's pretty much it. Well, just a little bit of a recap from last week's race, and unfortunately I missed last week. I'm sorry about that. I also want to thank Tana Sharp for filling in for me for round 1 at Daytona. We had 14 of Vern Bradley bring it home, 18 of Ty Gibbs second, 77 of Jacob Bell third, 75 of Rusty Farrow fourth, 48 of Curtis Vollmer fifth, 81 of Travis Pryor came out sixth, the 12 of Damian Crump came out seventh, Vern Markheim came out eighth, 24 Chris Gibew came out ninth, and the 5 of Gary Woolbot did round up the top 10. And in that race, we had Matthew Elzenbach take the pole and led us to the first green flag. And the field was very spread out for the first half of the race as the driver just pretty much took it easy and were trying to get comfortable around each other. And contact between Rusty Farrow and Damian Crump put Rusty nose first into the bottom lane, which did cause a traffic jam and a big pile-up and collected a few trucks, giving us a caution. And heavy battles up front for the lead as drivers took advantage of the strong draft with the need for the bonus points for leading lap, which was all the motivation they needed to get the job done. And contact between Don Kidder Jr. and Brent Kuo sends Brent sky high, which ended the race under caution, leaving it down to Vern Bradley, Ty Gibbs, Jacob Bell, Rusty Farrow, and Curtis Vollmer. Overall, it was an amazing first race, and the drivers made the best out of it as they all try and have a very great journey this whole season to take it away from defending champion, the 6 of Tom Wetmore from last season. And our season standings currently stand: 14 Vern Bradley's in the lead, 18 of Ty Gibbs second, 77 of Jacob Bell, and 75 of Rusty Farrow both tied for third, 48 Curtis Vollmer fourth. We have 12 of Damian Crump fifth, 81 of Travis Pryor sixth. We have Vernon Markheim seventh. Chris Gibew and Gary Woolbot are tied for 8th, the 64 of Michael Knight 9th, and the 03 of Don Kidder Jr. rounding up the top 10. And once again, this is the Great Clips 200 by the Extreme Motorsports 99 Truck Series here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. But going back to the race here, Dave, we have every single driver putting down a qualifying time, and so far the driver on the pole is the 4 of Brent Kuo.
Yeah, we've seen Brent in multiple leagues here. He's definitely a great driver. Good job with him with putting a lap time of a 29.370. Meanwhile, Matthew Walzenbach, starting in the second position, put down a 29.372. And the 65 of Marty Ray, starting third tonight, put a 29.376. So these drivers are close. Their lap time was. But then again, running a qualifying is a whole lot different than running in a race with 28 other trucks.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. Nicely said. And this also just keeping in mind after seeing last night's race here at Atlanta with the K&N cars, the drivers were very, very close. Dave, the draft played a key role. And I do believe the trucks actually draft or suck up better than the K&N cars do. So we should even see more bunched up and tight racing here than we saw last night. And by the looks of it, we have advanced into the gridding session. So we are going to give the drivers a few seconds before we go down the list. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have the 4 of Brent Kuo in first place, qualifying on the pole. The 29 of Matthew Wells in back second. 65 Marty Ray third. 77 of Jacob Bell fourth. The 50 of Scott Mitten fifth. We have last season's champion, season 7 champion, defending champion this season, the 6 of Tom Whitmore starting 6th. The 24 of Chris Gibbew 7th. The 48 of Curtis Vollmer 8th. We have the 81 of Travis Pryor 9th, the 64 of Michael Knight 10th, 58 of James Peterson 11th, the 11 of Ken Ladd 12th. We have the 12 of Damian Crump 13th, the 28 of Chris Voiles 14th, the 86 of Adam Eisenhower 15th, the 19 of Andy Starcher 16th, and Andy had a very bad race last night in the K&N series, but we do hope that this race goes better for him. And the 03 Don Kidder right behind him in 17th, 43 of Tyler Davis 18th, the 39 of Zachary Kraser 19th, and the 18 of Ty Gibbs rounding up the top 20, the 97 of Garrett Robinson 21st, the 7 of Brian Wasserman 22nd, the 57 of Hunter McDaniel 23rd, the 5 of Gary Woolbot 24th, 05 Tommy Amasi 25th, 75 of Rusty Farrow 26th, and the 71 of Chris Thorman being the last truck to put down a qualifying time, the 27th place spot, the 14 Vern Bradley 28th, and the 33 of Vernon Markheim being shown 29th, but Vernon doesn't seem to be racing tonight, unfortunately. But so that leaves us only with a 28th track field. So should expect an amazing race here to come for 111 laps. That is 111, 65% fuel limit. That is at least 2 pit stops. Hopefully some green flag pit stops, because they do spread out the field a lot. It's always interesting to see what these guys have when it comes down to fuel strategy.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sean, from my experience in these trucks here in Atlanta, or as I like to call it, Hot Atlanta, these trucks can put down some blistering speeds. Probably the first 5 or 10 laps, these guys can actually keep the pedal down to the metal before they'll have to start lifting and backing up their corners. But as we speak here now, the pace car is now bringing them through turns 3 and 4 as we are getting ready to go green flag racing for the first time here tonight. We are being led by Brent Kuhl on the inside, Matthew Walzenbach on the outside here as the pace car makes that hard left onto pit road. And Brent Kuhl wastes no time, gets hard on that throttle, and jumps out to a huge lead. The 29 of Walzenbach jumps down low, leaving the 77 there up on the outside, but also here comes the 6 of Tom Wetmore. They're on the inside as he is looking to advance his position as well.
And Tom Wetmore already advancing his position here before lap 1. He's even over, going from 6th to 4th place here before turn 4. 77 Jacob Bell going to try and drop him. 6 of Wetmore trying to set up the driver in front of him. And the driver, namely, is the 65 of Marty Ray. But Marty Ray going to hang on to that bottom lane in the draft of the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach. And all these drivers catching up to the lead of the 4 of Brent Kuhl, who had a very, very good restart, catches everybody off guard. And from the back in the pack, 81 Travis Pryor trying to hold off the 24 of Chris Gibbew, 64 Michael Knight in line, 58 James Peterson, 11 of Ken Ladd, and the 12 of Damian Crump.
Yeah, we got a star-studded field here tonight in the Xtreme Motorsports Camping World Truck Series here at the Great Clips 200. So we have just studs all throughout the field. To be honest, Sean, I couldn't even begin to guess who I think is going to win this race.
Yeah, it definitely would be a very, very difficult decision to make. And Dave, for the back in the pack, we have some battles going on. 03 of Don Kidder applying some pressure to the 43 of Tyler Davis. And right now he's trying to set him up. And Dave, let's actually run on the end card for the 03 of Don Kidder, because it does seem to have something against the 43 of Davis. That drop is very strong. You can see him getting very, very close to his back bumper. Just might set him up here before turn 3. He goes high, tries to toss it into the inside. Yes, he occupies the inside. He will move him up the track. He has not just moved up the track. The 97 right behind him, coming up, Garrett Robinson to push the 03 of John, get a pass 43 of Tyler Davis. But the 43 of Davis is doing an amazing job trying to do his best, the best he can on the outside line. The beginning of the race, the outside line is not the place to be, but the longer the run goes, about 15 laps, 20 laps in, the outside line definitely will come to life. And 03 of Peter Jr. makes the pass success with the help of the 97 of Garrett Robinson. And the 43 of Tyler Davis is going to have no choice. But for back line, we have some trouble on the track. Then the tryover, we have some cars with some heavy contact who smacked the wall, some heavy smoke in the rear end. 11 involved, and that's going to be Ken Ladd. And also the 18 of Ty Gibbs. Let's back it up, focus on the 11 of Ken Ladd on replay.
Well, as we go back to our Dre broadcast and replay, looks like that back end just kicked out of him on turn number 4, making him slide back up into the track here. As we are going to take a look from the blimp view, he gets that truck almost sideways, but unfortunately he comes up and hits contact with the 18. Oh, heavy damage. That's highly unfortunate. So we are going to take another look here as he goes up and makes that contact, but he does get a little airtime, as we did see a lot of the K&N cars last night here at Atlanta earn some frequent flyer miles.
Yep, and Dave, from further investigation, he had his left side tires below the white line there, and the banking did mess him up and put the truck sideways, but that is very, very unfortunate for every single driver involved. And the good thing about it is that he's not out of the race just yet. He does have one new truck waiting for him, so he's going to get that one out and be back out there trying to get some laps back, because right now he did end up blowing his motor, so that the old truck is pretty much useless. But going back up front, the 4 of Brent Cool is going to lead everybody down pit road. But we have some drivers deciding to stay out. We have 29 Matthew Eisenbach staying out, and most of the drivers, actually only 4 drivers with him. We have Tom Wetmore, Curtis Vollmer, James Peterson, and Chris Voiles. Only 5 drivers of the 28 drivers staying out. So they just have some kind of strategy in mind. They're going to have 8 more laps on their tires compared to everybody else, but it shouldn't be too much of a difference just yet. It is very early, too early to tell. And for the back in the pack, the 4 of Brent Cool exits pit road, but was beaten off by the 50 of Scott Mitten. So he did lose one spot on pit road there. Behind him, he has a 12 Damian Crump, 6'5 Marty Ray, 77 of Jacob Bell, and a 24 of Chris Gibew. And well, Dave, we already have some heavy movers here in the top 5. Some drivers going from below the top 10 up into the top 5. 58 James Peterson from 11th place to 4th as we speak. The 28 of Chris Voiles from 14th to 5th. And also not to forget the 48 of Curtis Vollmer from 8th to 3rd already.
Well, Sean, we have our current race leader, the 29 of Mr. Super Speedway himself, Matthew Eisenbach, coming down pit road. That is going to hand that race lead over to the 6th of Tom Wetmore, who was last season's truck champion, out here trying to defend his title this year.
Yeah, and Dave, we have a lot of new drivers here to the truck series this season, and they do know how to get their job done. And with that said, the job of the 6 of Tom Wetmore is getting nothing but harder every single time, more difficult. 58 of James Peterson as well is one of the most amazing drivers I know here on iRacing, and a lot more other ones further back in the pack here. Also some from last season, 250 of Scott Mitten, the 12 of Damian Crump, 64 of Michael Knight, who kept a low profile more than half of the season last season. But then towards the end of the season, we did start seeing him there, featuring his name up front. So he definitely will be a guy to keep an eye out for as well.
Yeah, most definitely. We got a couple of these drivers that we saw last night competing in the K&N series. They are here in the truck series, such as the 57 of Hunter McDaniel, Jacob Bell, who used to run in the K&N but has been promoted now running the Truck and Xfinity Series. Marty Ray we see in the K&N Series, Travis Pryor, Ty Gibbs, Gary Woolbolt. So, you know, a lot of these drivers we saw last night, so they got a good feel for the track. As right now the pace car lights are off and we are back to 1 degree.
And in this lineup, 6 of Tom Wetmore in the lead with the help of 58 of James Peterson on his rear end. On the outside, 48 of Curtis Vollmer with the help of the 28 of Chris Voiles. And Dave, like we had seen last night in the K&N series at Atlanta Motor Speedway, we did notice that the outside line was not the place to be, mostly on the restarts.
Well, apparently the 6 of Tom Wetmore knows something that we don't, as he elected to start on the outside on this restart as the race leader.
Oh, fingers crossed. See exactly what is going to happen once the green flag flies here. And he is controlling the start here, so the field does depend on him. And for the back in the pack, we have just pretty much everybody getting bunched up nice and tight, trying not to get freight trained on the restart, trying not to get caught off guard, because it becomes a disaster usually when drivers get caught off guard here. And they do exit turn 4. The pace car takes a hard left off the racing surface. 6 of Tom Whitman still holding pace speed. He puts the hammer down. He does catch a couple of drivers off guard, but 48 of Curtis Vollmer is onto him. He's going to be side by side of him entering turn 1, but nope. The 6 of Whitman propels past him and clears him before turn 1. And behind the 58 of James Peterson was able to overtake the 28 of Chris Voiles. We have 4 of Brent Kuo trying to overtake the 28 of Chris Voiles as well on the inside line. And for the back of the pack as well, Damian Crump battling 65 of Marty Ray side by side for the 7th place spot.
Yeah, most definitely here, as it looks like Chris Voiles is finally going to be able to drop down in the single file line here. But meanwhile, a little further back here, we've got some side-by-side action still going on. I think that's with the 65 of Marty Ray, who's got the 24 of Chris Gibu as they go back to single file.
And Dev 97 of Garrett Robinson all over the rear end of the 81 of Travis Pryor. Travis Pryor at this point definitely feeling the pressure from the 97 of Garrett Robinson and just pretty much minding his own business, trying his best to focus on the trucks ahead of him while trying to ride the bottom lane the best he can to defend it away from the 97 of Garrett Robinson, who is a very, very hungry driver for position. And looking at Garrett Robinson, he came on from 21st place to 13th as we speak and has been on the move ever since of the drop of the green flag. And it's only lap number 13. So just imagine what he has in store for us here before the halfway point of tonight's race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And we have one driver drifting way high. That's going to be 64 of Michael Knight drifting high to let these guys by. It's going to be 81 of Travis Pryor pulling on the 97 of Garrett Robinson.
Well, going back up front, we have a new race leader. That is going to be the 48 of Chris Vollmer, as he was able to get around the 6 of Tom Wetmore. But Tom is not letting him go. He has got the 58 of James Peterson right behind him as Tom Wetmore looks to the inside of Curtis Vollmer. Turns 3 and 4. He is going to bring the 58 of James Peterson as Vollmer is stuck on the outside.
And it's a roadblock behind for the 4 of Brent Kuo. Brent Kuo had nowhere to go, but he had to run on all speed drivers. 58 of Peterson, 48 of Vollmer, and the 6 of Wetmore had no choice but to back it down to avoid causing trouble. And right now, 58 of Peterson overtaking the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, but Curtis getting the huge draft from the 6 of Wetmore, who will go back down to block the bottom lane away from 58 of Peterson, the 4 of Brent Kuo, and behind with the 28 of Chris Voiles, still shuffled out on the outside line, doing an amazing job, not losing too much time or as much time as he would have been losing. But the 12 of Damian Crump as well, very hungry for the position and not hesitating to take it away.
Yeah, it looks like Tom Wetmore knows something that the rest of these drivers don't. He has got about 9 laps more on his tires than everybody else there, but he is sticking out front. Same with James Peterson and Curtis Vollmer, as they are battling side by side here as Brent Kuo is going to get around. Looks like the 28 of Chris Voiles almost gets into the wall, keeps it going, going to lose a couple of positions as he tries to get that truck back up to speed.
Yeah, it looks like he did scrape the wall. He did make contact with the 12 of Damian Crump and suffered some left side scratches and some right side damage from hitting that wall. And right now, just pretty much trying to use the draft to counter that damage. If it's going to affect him, and he doesn't look too bad, so most likely it isn't affecting him at all. And for the back in the pack, we do have some more battles going on. I'm gonna try and focus on one of them. We have the 14 of Vern Bradley as well. Slot on the track. They take him 3 wide. He's gonna go high to let all these guys by. He does have some heavy damage on the left side of that machine, and everybody's just getting around him as though he is sitting still. He's now getting back up to speed here, and he has one driver assisting him behind. It's gonna be 71 of Chris Thorman.
Yeah, and also right behind him, you can't forget the 5 of Gary Wobolt. We have a truck down on the apron there. That is going to be the 43 of Tyler Davis, but he is going to keep it going. We are going to stay green flag racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
And by the looks of it, Tyler Davis ended up getting into the wall entering turn 3. Just sucked him in. He turned that sucker all the way to the left the best he could. But there was the wall just wanted to make him a friend there. But he was able to save it. And he's now back here getting up to speed. He's actually back up to speed, but going back up front. The 6 of Wetmore still in the lead with 58 of James Peterson, trying to hold off the 4 of Brent Kuel, who's doing an amazing job on his tires on the outside line. His side driving the crap out of the bottom lane there to try and slow them down. At the same time, giving the drop to the 6 of Wetmore.
Yeah, most definitely there. Brent Kuel is one of those drivers on the newer set of tires, but he is holding his own on the outside there. Is James Peterson's just not able to beat that pass. They are going to stay 2 by 2 here coming into turn 1.
That 48 of Curtis Bowman trying to help the 4 of Kuo on the outside at the same time. The 12 of Crom going to try and suck up to the 58 of James Peterson to get that bottom lane going past the outside line. But look at that, Dave. The outside line is now coming to life. Oh, we have 58 of Peterson goes sideways off turn 4, but he hangs onto it and loses all his momentum and gets overtaken by the 4 of Kuo and the 48 of Curtis Bowman.
I tell you what, that's some good wheel work there by the 58 of James Peterson as he was able to keep that car under control. He has dropped back into the number 5 spot, but he is back up to speed, and he is now battling with, I can't see the 50 of Scott Mitten, who is up there, but he is doing a good job down on that bottom lane here as we are now just 89 laps left here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Great Clips 200, brought to you by Xtreme Motorsports in the Camping World Truck Series.
And Dave 65 Marty Ray finding his sweet spot on the outside line. 58 of James Peterson was taken 3 wide in the tri-oval there. They did make it work. The 65 Marty Ray makes the pass against the 58 of Peterson. And the 24 of Chris Gibbio on the 3 wide. 58 goes sideways off turn 4. 24 Chris Gibbio hard into the grass. No traction whatsoever. Goes sideways, hangs onto it, and the caution will fly there. As we had a bigger incident there of the exit of turn 4. 58 of Peterson involved, where the 86 of Adam Eisenhower, some heavy smoke from the rear end. Let's back it up and focus on the 58 of James Peterson on replay.
Well, as we rewind it here, focusing on the 58 of James Peterson. Oh, that back end kicks out. He makes contact with one truck down in the grass. Everybody's trying to slow down and get around him, but he gets it stopped up by the wall, and everybody's able to get around him here. Let's see if we can get a closer view of exactly what happened here with the 58 of James Peterson as he comes out of turn number 4. He's got the 24 machine right behind him. He gets a little loose, makes contact with the 24, sending him down in the grass. Also, it looks like the 86 machine is going to make contact with him of Adam Eisenhower. But for the most part, James Peterson is smoking heavenly as he is going to try to make his way down the pit road.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate indeed for every single driver involved in that. And James Peterson just is trying to catch the pace, catch the whole entire field before pitting in to avoid going a lap or more down as he smokes up the track here. Hopefully he doesn't blow his motor, because those gauges will end up skyrocketing in no time. But most likely he's going to be able to make it, so that's going to be very good. And he does still have his backup car just like everybody else out there, so he can be able to get a brand new one and stay competitive, because he was headed the right direction going up to the front. Unfortunately, had to end like that, and going back up front, everybody pits in except for one driver. The 77 of Jacob Bell, and you have one driver getting the lucky dog way around the pace car. That's going to be the 18 of Ty Gibbs. It's going to be back to 1 lap down from 2 laps down here on lap number 26.
Yeah, the 6 of Tom Wetmore brings almost everybody down to pit road. as he goes in for a 4-tire stop. He is going to beat everybody off at pit road, but we do have a new leader. The 77 of Jacob Bell stays out, leads a lap, and picks up a very important bonus point.
Yep, something is telling me he's just doing it for the bonus point, and those points do matter. They do make a difference in the long run, because you never know how this season goes. It just might help you boost up when you have a bad race or something along those lines. And it's now showing him with 18 laps more on his tires. So something tells me he will end up pitting in, Dave, for the green flag. Fingers crossed, we will wait and see. And behind him, he does have the 11 of Ken Ladd being shown 3 laps down. Most likely going to be following him down to pit road. Yes, both drivers pit in. And that will pass the race lead back over to the 6 of Tom Wetmore.
Well, Sean, I had a chance to sit down and talk to the 6 of Tom Wetmore before the race. He loves this track here in Atlanta. So he said he does real well here from previous races. So it's no surprise to see him up front, but he also knows there is some very stiff competition behind him with Brent Cole, Damian Crump, Don Kidder Jr. You got Rusty Farrell in here, Walzenbach, Tommy Amassi. I mean, just a great group of guys. So he's not just not quite thinking that he's going to run away with it, but he's going to try everything he can to come away with the win.
Yeah, most definitely. It's not going to be an easy job whatsoever, but he will try the best he can to get the job done. I liked how the 58 of Peterson was charging to the front there. Hopefully, looks like he did end up getting his backup car, and he's now back here. He's still on the lead lap, but back then 17th place. So he most likely will charge through the field, because we did see a similar incident happen last night in the K&N series with him, and he did make his way up to the front before I ended. And up front is the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, 4 of Brent Cole, 50 of Scott Mitten, 12 of Damian Crump, rounding up the top 5. And everybody this far has pitted in and has less than 3 laps on their tires.
Well, Sean, taking a look, we got an active chat out here tonight. We've got Billy Feltz, Carroll's in there. We got Xtreme in there. They're all talking, asking who's pulling for who. So if you guys are out watching, get in that live chat and let everybody know who you're out there rooting for to win this race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
And we are now back once green. The caution laps are very, very short at this track. We have the 6 of Wetmore with the 4 of Brent Cole, post sitter right on his rear end. On the outside is the 48 of... Whoa, actually, I think it's now switched. Yes, the 6 of Wetmore starting on the outside line again. And we have 48 of Vollmer starting on the inside of the help of the 4 of Brent Cole. 50 of Scott Mitten on the outside. I'm going to be assisting the 6 of Tom Wetmore on the restart. And we have 12 Damian Crump side by side with the 03 of Don Kidder Jr. Both third place on the outside and the bottom lane. Entering turn 3 this time by going green.
Well, the pace car is now bringing them through turns 3 into turn number 4. Getting ready to go back green flag racing with 84 laps here remaining. So we are just kind of anxious here as the pace car is getting ready to pull off on pit road. Pace car on pit road. The 6 of Tom Wetmore wastes no time, catches everybody off. Oh, we see the 4 of Brent Cole. He is down in the grass, but we are still green flag racing is in now. Being led by the 6 of Tom Wetmore, 48 of Curtis Vollmer, and the 50 of Scott Mitten. Your top 3.
Oh man, on the restart, the 4 of Brent Cole ended up putting his left side on the grass, left side tires on the grass, which did shoot him in the grass and into pit road, but he did save it. But unfortunately, he will receive a penalty for for speeding on pit road and unsafe pit entrance, because he did miss the pit entrance cones there in the front. But we do look forward to seeing him back up front here in no time. But going for the back in the pack, 57 of Hunter McDaniel here, new to the top 10, up starting 23rd with an 03 of Don Kidder as well, new to the top 10. In 7th place, starting in 17th place position. 97 of Gary Robinson making his way up to the top 5, trying to challenge the 12 of Damian Crump there. He goes back down to the bottom lane to try and use a draft of the 12 of Crump to suck him in or pull him in.
Well, Sean, we are starting to get who these guys, our fans out watching at home, who they're rooting for. We've got people rooting for Ty Gibbs. The 58 of James Peterson's got a fan out there of Carroll. And also Billy Phelps pulling for the young gun, Ty Gibbs, who's currently running back in 26th position, 1 lap down.
And James Peterson right now, last time we checked on him, he was in 17th and already making moves, trying to make his way up to the front here in no time. He's now in the 12th place spot, overtaking the 75 of Rusty Farah. Now that bumps him up to the 11th place spot. His next victim, the 64 of Michael Knight. And also in the 97 of Gary Robinson right now, Dave is charging on the 12 of Damian Crump at the front. And we do have a battle of the race lead going on 10:48 of Curtis Vollmer and the 6 of Tom Wetmore. Oh, the 48 of Vollmer pulls out of line there with a big run off the right rear of the 6 of Wetmore. He's gonna make it stick. No, the 50 of Mitten assists the 6 of Wetmore on the inside line. Almost make contact, but they stay off each other. No harm done. The 48 of Vollmer still hanging on to the outside line and not losing too much time. 50 of Scott Mitten trying to get close to 6 of Wetmore. Pushing past 48 of Curtis Vollmer and most likely trying to batter him after that.
Yeah, most definitely here. It looks like that outside line is definitely gaining speed as the 48 of Curtis Vollmer is making it work as he is not letting the 6 of Tom Wetmore go as he has been battling side by side for the last 2 laps.
And the 12 of Damian Crump will try to assist in the 50 of Mitten as well. Jumps up to the outside line and that opens the door for the 97 of Garrett Robinson and the 65 of Marty Ray. These guys are more bunched up. They get on the inside line. They will freight train the outside line with 48 of Curtis Vollmer, proving everybody wrong, making the outside line work. The 6 of Curtis Vollmer on the inside line, not breathing just yet, because he does have some pressure from behind and side by side with him. From the 48 of Curtis Vollmer and the 97 of Garrett then drifts way high. The 50 of Mitten does a crossover move against him and occupies his inside knob. He backs off and lets him have that inside line back. He's gonna ride with him nose to tail. And Davis actually right on the in-car of the 97 of Garrett Robinson. So we can watch the battle up ahead. You see Garrett right there getting very, very close to the 6 of Wetmore. He did get very close, but tapped the apron, which did slow him down quite a bit, but he's going to try and regenerate, recharge, get his run back. Using the draft of most likely both drivers, because he was right in that middle lane to get the gap in between them. In the backstretch there, but he does follow the 6 of Tom Wetmore here. The 48 of Vollmer still holding the outside line, very, very nice and strong, and actually leads this lap here on 37. Oh, the caution flies behind. We do have some trouble on the track. I'm going to try and find out who might have been involved.
That looks like the 18 of Ty Gibbs is going to be collected up in that as we are going to go to our Dre Broadcasting replay here, rewinded, focusing on the 18 of Ty Gibbs. Ooh, contact between him and the 28 machine of Chris Boyles. Doesn't look like Ty Gibbs is going to hit anything, so he's not going to have too much damage. Meanwhile, the 28 of Chris Boyles is probably going to receive the worst of that. No, he is just going to spin around, get it spun back around here as we're going to focus now on the 28 of Chris Boyles. He is going to get hit by another truck there, but looks like everybody's just going to walk away with some minor damage.
Yeah, that definitely could have been worse, and great driving by everybody out there behind the wreck, slowing down in time to avoid making it bigger than it was. And going back up front, Dave, we are being led by the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, the 6 of Tom Wetmore second, 97 Garrett Robinson third, the 50 of Scott Mitten fourth, and the 12 of Damian Crump in the 5th place spot. And we have one driver in line for the Lucky Dog. It's showing the 18 of Ty Gibbs in line for the Lucky Dog, but most likely won't be getting it due to being involved in the incident there for the caution. That's going to pass it on to the 86 of Adam Eisenhower, who is going down to pit road. Next in line is the 11 of Ken Ladd. Yes, Ken Ladd stays out. He's going to be getting 1 lap back to be back to 2 laps down. Yes, he gets a wave around the pace car. He's now back to 2 laps down from 3.
Yeah, the question is what's the 18 of Ty Gibbs gonna do? Is he going to come down pit road, get service, or is he gonna try to stay out, see what the 58 of James Peterson, who's our new leader, see if he's gonna go down pit road and maybe try to get back on the lead lap, as the 18 of Ty Gibbs is now only 1 lap down.
Yeah, and speaking of James Peterson, he was up front in the beginning. He went to the back after being involved in the wreck. Went from 17th place to 13th to 11th, and now is in the lead. Leading in the trying to lead some laps. He most likely is going to be going down to pit road because he will have 13 laps more in his tires compared to everybody else if he does stay out. And that 48 of Curtis Vollmer beats everybody off pit road. We do have the 18 of Ty Gibbs behind him as well, being shown one lap down. I'm going to be following him down to pit road this time, and that does give the race lead back over the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. And look at that, Dave, the 97 of Garrett Robinson. Can't get rid of this driver. He's an amazing driver. We saw him perform. We see him perform in the K&N series here at the Xtreme Motorsports as well. And he definitely does know how to get the job done. So he's not making these guys' job easier whatsoever, because he won't quit until he makes them enjoy the view of his taillights. 50 of Scott Mitchell there in the 4th place spot, and a 12 of Damian Crump in the 5th place position. And this does give us some time for a race interview, so let's focus on the hardest move of the hardest charger here, the 97 of Garrett Robinson. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 97 of Garrett Robinson up here. That's got a cup there, buddy.
I got a cop.
How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How about y'all?
Doing good too, thank you. Just pretty much enjoying the view that the show that you're putting on to for us up here with everybody else out there. And Garrett, you've been a man on a mission, a man on the move ever since the drop of the green flag. Starting 21st, currently in the 3rd place spot as we speak, and at the moment still headed towards the front here, trying to challenge the 6 of Wetmore and the 48 of Vollmer. How's the race going so far?
Good. It's just tires are wearing pretty quick.
Oh, 10-4, but it does seem as though you guys are doing an amazing job out there. You're still doing an amazing job keeping on the bottom lane behind the 6 of Tom Wetmore. And how's the draft working? Because it does seem as though it's bunching you guys up quite a bit.
Yeah, there's been a lot of checking up. The draft's what got me up there. I just stayed in behind one person the whole time.
Oh, copy that, brother. And you do seem to have a little bit of damage on the rear end, but not enough to slow you down. And you have been doing an amazing job with it. And you are now back 1 to green, so we will let you get back to the driver's seat. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. You are headed the right direction, and make us proud.
10-4. Thank y'all.
And that was a 97 of Garrett Robinson, currently in the 3rd place spot here, but we are now back 1 to green, the 48 of Curtis Vollmer on the outside line, the 6 of Wetmore this time starting on the inside. Oh, so 48 is the leader, sorry, he did just start on the outside. So the 6 of Wetmore is going to have the Garrett Robinson in his rear end, and the 50 of Mitchell behind the 48 of Vollmer. The pace car does dip off. The 6 of Wetmore still holding pace to be the 48 of Vollmer, puts it down the floor, but the 6 of Wetmore does see it coming. They do stay side by side here throughout the front stretch, entering turn 1. Let's see who has it. The 6 of Wetmore is going to still occupy his inside line. That's some bad news for the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, because he most likely was hoping to get a good jump, so he could get in front of the 6 of Tom Wetmore there before turn 1, but 48 of Vollmer there does propel past him and clears him before turn 3. Also right behind him is 5 Marty Ray on the outside, help with 29 of Matthew Welsenbach. Matthew Welsenbach trying to push him past the inside line, namely the 12 of Damian Crump, 97 of Garrett Robinson, the 03 of Don Kidder Jr. as well, right behind this little pack on the inside line, trying to overtake him, trying to freight him on the outside line, but surprisingly the outside line has now come to life, and it's working just as well as the inside line is. So they're going to be neck and neck here throughout the backstretch, entering turn 3. Now we have 3 trucks on the outside line. Oh, we have some contact up front. 29 Matthew Welsenbach. All 3 John Kidder Jr. Heavy wreck going into turn number 1 there on the apron. Looks like it's gonna stay green. Everybody slows down. But we have one driver in the grass there who got a big piece of the action. Let's see if we can get a number on that driver. It's gonna be the 05 of Tommy Amasi off the track. And he was able to not get too much damage. Really, the caution has flown here. The race officials throw the caution to get everybody bunched back up again. Let's back it up and focus on the 03 of Don Kidder on replay.
Well, as we are taking a look here exactly what happened, I'm not exactly sure. Contact was made, and then trucks just went everywhere trying to avoid. Here's we are going to rewind it again and take a look here. These trucks are just trying everything to get away and slow down. Had a few hit the walls, so I'm not exactly sure, Sean, but that is going to shake up the middle of the field, that's for sure.
Yeah, it will shake things up a lot. And Dave, this is now lap number 45 here. We have the 48 of Curtis Vollmer in the lead, the 6 of Tom Whitmore second, 97 of Garrett Robinson third, the 12 of Damian Crump fourth, 65 of Marty Ray in the 5th place spot, and that's rounding up our top 5. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a good enough time to take our first commercial break of tonight's race, so you guys can get your first round of popcorn and refreshments. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Camping World Truck Series as I bring you the Great Clips 200 for round 2. Going back to the race here, we are now back 1 to green. We are still being led by the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, a 6 of Tom Whitmore right beside him in 2nd place, 97 Garrett Robinson still 3rd, the 12 Damian Crump 4th, and the 65 Marty Ray rounding up the top 5. And in this restart, we have on the bottom lane the 6th of Whitmore and the 97 of Garrett Robinson. On the outside line, we have the 48 of Curtis Vollmer and the 12 of Damian Crump. And also looking at my stats right now, we have the top 15 drivers decided to stay out, and everybody else pitted in. So they have 7 laps more on their tires compared to the drivers who had pitted in. And right now, these guys going side by side here, matching up nice and tight into turn 3, going green this time by.
Yeah, most definitely. Curtis Vollmer electing once again to start on that outside. Tom Whitmore on the inside. Pace car coming through turn number 4. Getting ready to go green flag racing. These guys ready to put the pedal down here as the pace car now exits turn 4, gets on pit road. 48 of Vollmer keeps him at pace speed, jumps on that throttle. The 6 of Tom Wetmore saw it coming, is going to stay side by side with Curtis Balmas through the dogleg and into turn number 1.
And we do have the 57 of Hunter McDaniel right now trying to clear the bottom lane, but 65 of Marty Ray already on this inside line. The 4 of Kuo does dump him and drops down to behind the 65 of Marty Ray, trying to push him past the 57 of Hunter McDaniel on the outside line. But going back to the top 3 out there, we have the 12 of Damian Crump and the 6 of Tom Wetmore, who is now in the rear end of the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, and most likely going to try and push him to try and pull away from the pack. The 12 of Damian Crump is going to go with them. While the 97 of Garrett Robinson tries to catch up to them. And for the back in the pack, 14 of Vern Bradley behind the 64 of Michael Knight. Single foul line. 58 of Peterson trying to hold off the 39 of Zachary Crazer. And Zachary Crazer, so I haven't spoken much of him tonight. He is an amazing driver from last season here. Starting in the 19th place spot and currently 10th. He new to top 10. And he's now pulling back in line behind 58 of James Peterson, who is still on the move as we speak.
Yeah, he has made his way back into the top 10 here, running behind the 14 of Vern Bradley. Meanwhile, the 39 of Zachary Crazer's just watching them battle, waiting to pounce and make a move.
And up front there, we have 12 of Damian Crump on the inside of the 6 of Tom Wetmore. That's going to be a battle for the second place spot. Let's see who he gave it to. The 12 of Damian Crump does take over the second place spot away from the 6 of Tom Wetmore. And the 48 of Curtis Vollmer seems to be drifting high there to assist the 6 of Wetmore with the draft. And so far it does seem to be working, because on the back straight he is propelling past the 12 of Crump, entering turn 3. But then in the turns, the 12 of Crump ends up having a momentum gain there. But then on the exit of 4, the 6 of Wetmore just might have the slingshot off of it. But 12 of Crump still has the big nose lead over the 6 of Wetmore and trying to catch 48 of Curtis Vollmer, who then goes back down to bottom lane to defend his spot.
Yeah, so meanwhile, looking back here, our pole sitter, the 4 of Brent Cool, running back here in the 7th position after going down through the field there and in through pit road, has made his way back up here into the top 10. Meanwhile, James Patterson getting around the 14 of Vern Bradley, taking away that number 9 position. Now working on the 64 of Michael Knight, as he is going to get past him. His next victim, he hopes, is going to be the 4 of Brent Cool.
Okay, for the back in the pack, 43, Tyler Davis on the outside line right now, trying to hang on to his position. But everybody on the inside seems to have freight trained him. Oh, he taps the wall there, entering turn 3, and that does slow him down enough to move the spots to the 75 of Rusty. The caution does fly here on lap 54. Gonna see where that might have been. It happened in turn 3 there with the 05 of Tommy Amasi involved in that one. Let's back it up and focus on the 05 of Tommy Amasi on replay.
Well, as we look at our Dre broadcast and replay, focusing on the 05 of Tommy Amasi, on the entrance to turn 3, he gets into that wall. The truck comes around sideways. Doesn't look like any other truck is going to be involved. It's going to be a self-spin. We take a look there, he is going to be just the only truck here. So good job by the 05 of Tommy Amasi in keeping it out and keeping it from hitting all the other vehicles.
Going back up front, Yasu being led by 48 of Curtis Vollmer, 12 of Damian Crump, 6 of Tom Wetmore 3rd, 65 Marty Ray 4th, and the 4 of Brent Cool running up the top 5. And so far, everybody is down pit road. But we do have Ken Ladd out there staying out. He just got 1 lap back, and I believe that does put him back on the lead lap. And he's now headed down pit road right now to get some service. Nope, he ends up missing pit entrance there. And he's going to go back again, 1 more lap. And the 03 of John Kidder is going to be next in line in the 26th spot, 1 lap down behind the pace car. Going to be getting a wave around. Once we go 1 to green, 86 of Adam Eisenhower being shown in 27th, 2 laps down. And the 18 of Ty Gibbs actually looks like he has retired for the night, parking the truck. But you look forward to seeing the drivers back next week again for the Toyota Tundra 250 at Kansas Speedway for round number 3. But up front in the 48 of Curtis Vollmer does seem to have been beaten off pit road by the 4 of Brent Kuhl, who will take over the race lead here on lap 56.
Well, looking at my pit times, it looks like the 4 of Brent Kuhl elected to go with 2 tires and a full tank of fuel, as he was our pole sitter, but he is going to take the number 1 spot. That is going to leave Curtis Vollmer 2nd, Tom Wetmore 3rd, Damian Crump 4th, and Marty Ray in your number 5 position.
And look at that, Dave, going for the back in the field. We have the 14 of Vern Bradley going from 28th, no qualifying time, to the 9th place spot here on lap number 57. So he has moved up a lot with these 97 of Garrett Robinson, 21st to 6th at the moment. We've talked about him a lot. 57 of Hunter McDaniel, 23rd to 7th as we speak. And we just keep having more and more drivers here coming into the top 10 every single time. And some drivers who've been keeping a low profile all race long tonight so far. The 7 of Brian Wasserman, currently in the 13th place spot. The 24 of Chris Gibbs, 12th. And we also have the 75 Rusty Farrow there in the 16th place spot. And Andy Starcher is currently in the 18th place spot, up starting in the 16th place position. And the status check on the 28 of Chris Voiles, who was involved in 2 incidents there, is now back out on the track. He does seem to have some right side damage, some right front damage on the hood of that machine, but it's still going nice and strong by the looks of it. We are now back 1 to green here on lap number 58, and we had 1 driver get the waiver on the pace car, the 86 of Adam Eisenhower, and that does put him back down to, I believe, 2 laps down. And the 03 of John Kidder Jr. is back behind the field here, behind the 11 of Ken Ladd, who is now back on the lead lap for getting the wave around for the Lucky Dog. And in this lineup, we have the post sitter currently going to be taking us to this restart, currently in the lead. He has a 6 of Tom Wetmore behind him, 48 of Curtis Vollmer starting the outside line once again with the 12 of Damian Crump right behind him. These guys do enter turns number 3 and 4, exiting turn 4, going to be going green this time by across the start finish line for lap number 58, which will give us 53 laps remaining here in tonight's race. So it definitely is almost go time for these drivers, but they still have to pit at least 1 more time. And the pace car does leave the racing surface. 4 of Brent still holding pace speed. The green flag flies. They all put it down. The 6 of Woodman all over the 4 of Brent Kuhl. He goes to the rescue there in case he misses the shift. That 48 of Curtis Vollmer trying to fall in line there in third lane. Yes, he does squeeze in between the 6 of Wedmore and the 65 of Marty Ray. He did chop the nose up with the 65 of Marty Ray, but no harm was done. 57 of Hunter McDaniel there behind the 65 of Marty Ray. On the outside line, we have the 57 of Garrett Robinson, actually the 12 of Damian Crump, almost getting freight train, but he's now back up at speed here, trying to overtake, trying to actually hold on to his positions. Because the inside line so far is more bunched up. It is propelling. The drop is very, very strong, but he's doing the best he can. And up front, we already have a battle for the race between the 6 of Tom Wetmore and the 4 of Brent Kuhl. The 6 of Wetmore trying to set up the 4 of Brent, but Brent doing an amazing job, just pretty much running that defensive line to try and avoid the position loss. And 6 of Wetmore goes to the outside of the helmet. 48 of Curtis Vollmer, who then tries to go back down. 65 of Marty Ray is already on his inside. That 48 of Curtis Vollmer giving a push of a lifetime to the 6 of Tom Wetmore. A 65 Marty Ray to the rescue of the 4 of Brent to increase his maximum speed here in the turns and actually on the exit of the straightaways and the entrance to the turns. 57 of Hunter McDaniel going to be third place in the bottom lane behind 65 of Marty Ray. And further back we have the 39 of Zachary Kraser challenging the 12 of Damian Crump. It's going to be a battle for the 7th place spot. That 39 of Zachary Fraser right now, still trying to take away the spot from the 12 of Damian Crump, but Damian Crump not backing off, still being able to maintain it this far. And up in front of him we have the 14 of Vern Bradley trying to ride the outside using the draft of 7 of Hunter McDaniel. And up front there we have had some lead changes. Both 48 of Curtis Bowman and 6 of Tom Wetmore were able to get around the 4 of Brent Cool, but Brent still going nice and strong, determined to take back what was rightfully his, which was that first place position. 65 Marty Ray doing an amazing job on the inside of the draft of the 4 of Brent. Martin hold off the 57 of Hunter McDaniel and the 14 of Vern Bradley. And further back in the pack, we have a 77 of Jacob Bell here behind the 97 of Garrett Robinson. It is a cluster all the way from the 5th place spot back. These guys double foul side drafting the crap out of each other, and some actually even bump drafting to get the most speed possible. And also behind it, the 75 of Rusty Farrell, and riding behind the 28 of Chris Foyles in 16. We have one driver going sideways off turn 2 that he was able to save it. That was a 65 of Marty Ray, going to go from 4th place all the way, being freight train, most likely below the top 10. And we have one more driver slow being taken through. This is the 48 of Curtis Bowman, going to be put hard into the wall by the 39. Zachary Crazer, big wreck on the exit of turn 4. And the caution is going to fly here on lap number 65. Very unfortunate for every driver involved. Let's back it up and focus on the 48 of Curtis Bowman.
Well, as we go to our replay, I am going to focus on the 48 of Curtis Walmer as he is running on that outside contact, and around he goes. That is going to take the 28 of Chris Boyles. Is also going to get some heavy damage from that incident as everybody goes around him for another caution here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate for every single driver involved in that. Hopefully they have enough time to go down here to get some damage fixed, and hopefully have that backup car still handy so they can be able to still stay competitive with everybody else. And right now we are still being led by 6 of Tom Wetmore, the 14 Vern Bradley 2nd, the 4 of Brent Cool 3rd, the 12 of Damian Crump 4th, and the 50 of Scott Mitten in the 5th place position. And ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we are having some technical difficulties, so we will take one very, very short commercial break so we can get everything sorted. We'll be right back, so stay tuned.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Great Clips 200 as part of round 2 of the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Camping World Truck Series. We're going back to the race here. We are back 1 to green, being led by the 6 of Tom Wetmore. We have the 4 of Brent Quill right behind him on the inside line. On the outside is the 14 of Vern Bradley with the 12 of Damian Crump right behind. And by looking at my stats right now, the top 7 drivers decided to stay out, but everybody else did pit in. So the top 7 drivers is going to have about 11 laps more on their task compared to everybody else. And the top 7 drivers include 6 of Tom Wetmore, Vern Bradley, Brent Kuhl, Damian Crump, Scott Mitten, Marty Ray, and the 05 of Tommy Amasi. But right now we are entering turns number 3 and 4, going green on lap 70, which is going to give us 42 laps remaining. As we do exit turn 4 here, the pace car does take that hard left off the racing surface. 6 of Wetmore puts it down to the floor. He does catch them off guard. The 14 of Vern Brown, they're trying to catch up to him and gonna go back down to bottom lane to avoid losing the spot. No, he stays high, and the 4 of Brent is going to play his inside line here, entering turn 1. The 12 of Damian Crump as well dumps the 14 of Vern Bradley and drops down in the bottom lane here behind the 4 of Brent to push him past him and try and catch up the new race. No, it's the 12 Crump, but take it 3 wide and then backs off. It looks like there was the gap hole did end up closing up there, so he did back down to avoid causing trouble. That was a great move on his part. 6-5 of Marty Ray trying to drop the 14 of Vern Bradley on the outside line, pushing past the 12 of Crump, but then dumps him and goes down to assist the 12 of Crump and the 4 of Brent Kuhl. And the 6 of Tom Whitman right now is pulling away at a very fast rate. The 12 of Damian Crump going to try and look to the outside of the 4 of Brent Kuhl, then drifts high there. He's going to do the crossover move on him. Oh, the 4 of Kuhl drifted high, then almost tapped the wall. The tires just might be going. Once again, the drivers did stay out here. Oh, the 4 of Brent Kuhl was one of the drivers who stayed out during the last caution there, so the tires most likely affecting the performance of that machine. The 12 of Crump takes the position away and is now going to be shown in the second place spot. And the caution will fly here on lap 72. Gonna go back and take a look at who might have been involved with that one.
Well, as we pull up the Drake Broadcasting replay here, we are going to focus right now on the 58 of James Peterson, as it looks like it happened in front of him there. We are going to go back and take a look here yet again, see if we can see exactly what happened. Looked like the 14 of Vern Bradley, the 51, 3 wide, and somebody got a little bent out of shape there. Looks like the back end came around and caused that caution. As we're going to take a look at it, yeah, looks like the back end of the 14 of Vern Bradley just gets a little loose there. Not sure if there was any contact, but that brought out another caution.
Yeah, very impressive for every single driver involved. And right now we do have one driver smoking heavily, trying to make his way down to pit road. I'm going to try and catch a number on the driver. It's going to be the 03 of Don Kidder. Actually, another driver, 03 of Kidder Jr. And the 64 of Michael Knight, all releasing some heavy black smoke from the rear end. And we have some drivers peeling off to go down to pit road for some green flag pit stops. But Tom Wetmore and Damian Crump decide to all stay out, but everybody else will be going down to pit road. Actually, we have some more drivers staying out with them. We have Travis Pryor, Chris Gibu, Hunter McDaniel, Brian Wasserman, Tyler Davis, and Garrett Robinson all staying out, while everybody else goes down to pit road for some pit stops. And up front, 6 of Tom Wetmore right now, clutching that sucker in, trying to save some gas for the long run. And up ahead of him, he just got overtaken by a truck getting a wave around the pace car. That's going to be the 86 of Adam Eisenhower, going to be going back to 4 laps down from 5 laps down here in the 26th place spot. Still going nice and strong, determined to take back or get back as many laps as possible. And this now does give us some time to get a race interview in, so let's focus on one of the new drivers, the top 5 here, the 24 of Chris Gibew. Oh, looks like we're not able to get communications with the 24 of Chris Gibew just yet, but we are going to keep trying. Instead, let's focus on a different driver, the 81 of Travis Pryor. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the 81 of Travis Pryor up here. That's got a cop there, bud.
Yes, sir, I do.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to bide my time, see how this thing goes.
Oh, 10-4, and you're doing an amazing job so far, just staying alive here now, new to the top 3 after starting the 9th place spot. We didn't see much of you in the top 10 this far until now. What's been your strategy?
Beginning of the race, strategy is to stay up front and, hopefully stay out of trouble. That worked for a good while, and I got caught up in an accident and had to work my way back up to the field.
Oh, copy that. Very sorry to hear about the incidents you got involved in, but it is good to see you back up front here with everybody. And looking at your stats right now for pitting in, you pitted in 10 laps ago with the 4 cars or 4 trucks behind you. While we had some drivers go down to pit road for some service under this same caution. Do you think that's going to affect you any? Or what's your strategy from now on when it comes down to pit stops?
No, I don't think it's really going to affect too bad. I feel like this we have good enough tires to get up there, stay in front of everyone. We're just going to see how these caution laps lead up and what's going to come down to at the end.
Sounds like a very, very good plan. Well, brother, you are now back 1 to green right behind the 6 of Tom Wetmore. So good luck to you, buddy, and make us proud.
Thank you very much. I'll try.
And that was the 81 of Travis Pryor, currently 3rd right behind the 06 of Tom Wetmore. And this restart on the outside is the 12 of Damian Crump with the 24 of Chris Gibew, new to the top 5 here tonight. Starting on his outside, or starting behind the 12 of Damian Crump here. But here entering turns number 3 and 4, going green on the exit of turn 4, this time by.
As the pace car now brings them out of turn number 4, getting ready to go. Green flag racing, 36 laps remaining. Pace car off. Tom Wetmore wastes no time getting hard on that throttle. Looks like Travis Pryor saw it coming. The 12 of Crump is getting passed by Pryor on the inside as they drop down and go back single file here into turn number 1.
And 57 of Hunter McDaniel gets around the 24 of Chris Gibew, who then falls back in line right behind him to lose more to, the 24 does across over to Chris Gibew. On 57 of Hunter McDaniel to get the 4th place spot back from the 57 of Hunter McDaniel here entering turns number 3, and he makes a pass successful exiting turn 4. He does have him cleared successfully, and up ahead in front of him, 12 of Damian Crump trying to catch the 81 of Travis Pryor, who in turn is trying to catch the leader, the 6 of Tom Wetmore. And for the back in the pack with some battles going, 65 of Marty Ray on the outside line. They're battling side by side with 7 of Brian Wassman while dropping the 11 of Ken Ladd there on the outside.
Yeah, earlier we had seen that 11 of Ken Ladd 2 laps down. Now he is here back in the top 10. But he has got some stiff competition behind him with Marty Ray, Brent Cole, Tyler Davis, and Scott Mitten.
Yep, and it's now a classic here for the pack in the pack from all the way from 7th place back. The 65 Marty Ray does have someone assisting on the outside. That's the 43 of Tyler Davis. We have one driver off the track, the 48 of Curtis Bowmer. Curtis Bowmer staying on the apron there to let them by. He is off the pace here. He's being shown 4 laps down in 25th place spot. He was involved in the last incident there. This is very unfortunate for him, but he is still going nice, trying to put down as many laps as he can to get the most points possible. But going back up front here, we have the 12 of Damian Crump catching the 81 of Travis Pryor, who in turn has caught the leader. And the 12 of Crump does do the crossover move on the 81 of Travis Pryor to force him up the track. He does so successfully, just might have him off the exit of turn 4. They almost make contact there, but they're able to stay off each other. The 6 of Tom Whitmore right now is pretty much driving his own race line, the Q line, to leave these guys in his dust, but they are still battling side by side. The 12 of Damian Crump still closing that gap. 81 of Travis Pry is losing spot. He is losing some time each time, and is now getting a slingshot off turn 2 and still occupying the outside of the 12 of Damian Crump, entering turn 3. Oh, the 12 of Crump did give a butt bump to the 6 of Wetmore, which did give him a reverse hook and shot him up the track into the 81 of Travis Pryor, and he did lose all his momentum. They take him 3 wide, then he turns them out, entering turn 1. The 12 of Crump was sideways, gets spun out, and the caution will fly here on lap 82. We have more trucks getting piled in there, but they most of them are able to get past that unharmed. Now let's back it up and focus on the 12 of Damian Crump on replay.
Well, as we go back to our Dre broadcast and replay, we are going to focus on the 12 of Damian Crump here. As we hit the replay button, looks like he was coming through the dog leg. The 24 decides to try to take it 3 wide. Contact made, and the 12 up into the wall. But as he was spinning and trucks were trying to go around him, quite a few made contact here. Let's go back and watch this from the start of our blimp view here. As they try to go 3 wide through the dog leg, and that seemed to be a little disastrous there, but the 12 of Crump is going to probably get the most of that, as he got hit quite a few times there.
Yep, and speaking of Damian Crump right now, he is smoking heavily, trying to crawl down towards pit road to get some that damage fixed. And the engine all of a sudden is now silent. The speed is going from high to low at a very, very fast rate. So that is a sign that he most likely blew his motor. Let's see. You can still hear the engine running, but his speed is still going lower. So maybe he's just pretty much trying to clutch it in there and avoid blowing up. Maybe he's overheating already. But going back up front, we are being led by the 6 of Tom Wetmore, who is now down pit road. 81 Travis Pryor second, 24 of Chris Gibu third, the 4 of Brent Kuo fourth, and 65 of Marty Ray in the 5th place spot. Let's see who's our next driver in line for the Lucky Dog. 86 of Adam Eisenhower staying out. Being shown 4 laps down, but got the waiver on the pace car. So it's going to be back to 3 laps down from 5 laps down. Very, very great move on his part there. He is getting as many laps back as he can. And by the end of tonight's race, hopefully he can be able to get every single lap back and be back on the lead lap and challenge these leaders.
Well, Sean, taking our late race report here, we are being led by the 6 of Tom Wetmore, last season's champion. We have had 8 cautions tonight, 11 lead changes. Right now, the fastest lap put down is going to be held by the 57 of Hunter McDaniel with a 29.228.
Yeah, Hunter McDaniel has been doing an amazing job tonight, starting in 23rd, currently in the 13th place spot, and going nowhere but the front ever since the drop of the green flag. And Dave, unfortunately, we have lost a couple of drivers here. We do have 03 Don Kidder Jr. down pit road getting some damage fixed. 58 of James Peterson as well getting some damage fixed. And the 28 of Chris Voice as well, all down pit road, with the 18 of Tyler Gibbs, who did retire tonight. We hope the pit crews have enough time to get those cars back, or those trucks back and running, or running enough for them to put down some more laps before this thing is over. And this is now lap number 85, and that now gives us 27 laps remaining. So it makes me wonder, Dave, these guys just might be able to make it all the way on if they pitted in under this caution, which they did.
Yeah, I think they got enough fuel, but the question is, it seems tire wear is playing a key factor here tonight. Right now, as you said, we have some guys that have moved up a lot. Looking at 5700 McDaniel starting 23rd, running 5. Then we got Brian Wasserman starting 22nd in 6th. And Tommy Amassi starting 25th, now running into number 9 position.
Yeah, but we have some drivers also further back in the pack who will be working their way to the front, like the 5 of Gary Woodbutt and the 50 of Scott Mitten, and be trying to work their way to the front, because they do. That's pretty much all they do in these races. And the 39 of Zachary Crazer currently in the 15th place spot. 64 Michael 9th in the 14th place position. 97 Garrett Robinson made his way to the back there. Looks like that damage did start affecting the machine, but he did talk about how the tire was very, very bad. And by the looks of it, actually, he did end up getting his brand new truck, so he will be able to stay competitive, and that is the 97 of Garrett Robinson. And we are now back 1 to green here on lap 86. We have a 6 of Tom Wetmore on the inside, 65 Marty Ray right behind him, 81 Travis Pryor on the outside to help with 24 of Chris Gibbon. And under this caution, we already do have some drivers clutching those trucks in, trying to save some gas just in case they have to pit in one more time, or just in case they won't be able to make it, so they can be able to push it. Just like I talked about, the Tyreway is going to be something that gets them if they can be able to make it from this point. And the end returns number 3, and for the 6 of Tom Whitmore still in the lead here. Well, Dave, do the honors.
As the pace car comes out of turn number 4, we are going green flag again. Tom Wetmore wastes no time, catching everybody off guard there as he gets out to a commanding lead. The 81 of Pryor maintains second position. Marty Ray in third. Chris Gibu will be rounding out your top 4.
And 57 of Hunter McDaniel right now passing the 24 of Chris Gibu, who falls in line right behind him, but does a crossover move and goes back on his inside to take back that spot, the 4th place spot that was rightfully his here before this. The green flag had flown. He does so successfully, exiting turn 4. Very nicely done. And behind 57 of Hunter McDaniel, 4 Brent Court charging right behind to try and take back the lead, because he was in the lead up front here before they took it away from him. So he is hungry to try and take it back and make it count for 9. Matthew Weldon back here, back in the top 10 in the 7th place spot. Behind the 4 of Brent, who are going to be trying to suck up to him with the help of the 7 of Brian Wasserman on his rear end. And further back in the pack, we do have 39 of Zachary Crazer on the outside, being freight trained by the inside line. We do have the 19. That's going to be the 19 of Andy Starcher, the 50 of Scott Mason in line, and the 75 of Rusty Farrow forming a single foul line. That's busted on the outside, and that is on. That is on. And he does get freight trained once again by the 5 of Gary Woolbot, so he will lose 4 positions this lap. And fortunately, Natty's going to be able to fall back in line behind the 5 of Gary Woolbot to avoid losing even more spots than already done. And up front, in front of him, we do have the 75 of Rusty Farrow shuffled out to the outside of the 50 of Scott Mitten, and 50 of Scott Mitten right now, man on the mission, trying to make some moves, trying to get to the front, catching up to the 64 Michael Knight. 11 of Ken Laddin is bringing everybody with him, namely 75 Rusty Farrow and the starter Gary Woolbot, and 39 of Zachary Crazer.
Going back up front, it looks like our top 3 here are running single file, but here comes the 81 of Travis Pryor. He was going to try the inside there on the 6 of Tom Wetmore. Decides to get back into single file here with 21 laps remaining.
And that 65 Marty Ray is catching up to both the 81 of Pryor and the 6 of Wetmore. At the same time, 24 of Gibu trying his best to run down 65 Marty Ray. 57 of Hunter McDaniel right now has bigger problems on his hands. The 29 Wildenbach has finally caught up to him. He's going to his inside here. Nope, he closes the door on him and defends the 5th place position. 29 of Wildenbach trying to play some mind games, trying to trick him into making a mistake. But Hunter McDaniel doing an amazing job so far, not falling for it, just minding his P's and Q's, but he drifts way high here, exiting turn 2, and does leave the door open for 29 of Wildenbach to occupy it. And they'll be side by side entering turns 3 and 4. Oh, the 4 of Brent Cool gets Cyrus up in front of them. They will split him down the mid 3 wide. No harm is done there. Great driving on these guys' parts. They did make that work. 29 Wildenbach right now propels the slight nose entering turn number 1 against 57 of Hunter McDaniel. And that does bump him down into the 6th place spot. And Matt Wildenbach bumped up into the 5th place position. And going back up front, 81 of Travis Pryor still trying to make moves against 6 of Wetmore, but does end up bump drafting him there. Entering turn 3, but exiting turn 4, they do disconnect. 6 of Wetmore just pretty much now going back to his normal race line, which is the Q line, going high on the straightaways. and back down low in these turns. The 65 Marty Ray has now finally caught up to 81 of Travis Pryor and the leader, the 6 of Wetmore.
Yeah, most definitely there as we see Marty Ray there right behind the 81 of Travis Pryor, just kind of following here. We still have 18 laps remaining as these guys go around a slower car. That is going to be the 03 of Don Kidder Jr. Also the 81 making a move on the outside of Tom Wetmore, but it doesn't look like he is going to be able to make it stick there as Tom Wetmore is going to excel and keep that spot. But here he comes. He's trying to get on that outside with the help of the 65 of Marty Ray.
And Dave, for the back in the pack, we do have some more battles going on. 14 of Vern Bradley here trying to make some moves to try and get back to the front. He did get his damage fixed. I guess he did end up getting the backup truck that he has. And right now it is paying off. He is making some moves. He goes down the apron there and he will lose his momentum. He's going to try and charge against 50 of Scott Mitten. Well, let's first catch up to them. That's going to be 97 of Garrett Robinson and the 7 of Brian Wasserman. And the 4 of Brent Core does make the pass successfully against him, so he falls back in line to try and build up the momentum he lost. Going back up front, there was some 3 wide going on. Looks like they were trying to take a lap truck 3 wide. That's going to be the 58 of James Peterson, who will stay high to let them by. And no harm done there. Very, very great sportsmanship. And up front, the 81 of Travis Pryor still trying to make some moves against 6 of Wetmore, but so far having no luck. And the 81 of Travis is trying to make moves against 6 of Wetmore. At the same time, he's trying to defend his spot against 65 of Marty Ray right behind him.
Well, we are starting to get down to the nitty-gritty here, Sean. 14 laps to go here at the Great Clips 200, brought to you by Xtreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Truck Series.
And looking for the back in the pack here, 71 of Chris Thorman, just pretty much riding behind the 05 of Tommy Amasi. 05 Tommy Amasi had a rough night tonight here, but he is still out there going nice and strong in the 18th place spot. 71 of Chris Thorman right behind him. Both drivers have been keeping very low profile tonight. And Ken Ladd back on the lead lap here. His next victim is the 19 of Andy Starch of a 16th place spot. But they are about 1 second apart. So he does have some work to do. And up in front of him, we do have some battles going between 12 of Damian Crump and the 5 of Gary Woolbot. And that's going for the 14th place spot. Actually, the 12 of Damian Crump is being shown 2 laps down. So no harm against the 5 of Gary Woolbot. I just now saw that. And the 5 of Woolbot right now doing an amazing job on the bottom lane there. But the 12 of Crump does propel past him on the outside line. He's going to have no choice but to just fall back in line and pretty much use the draft to try and catch those leaders up front.
Back a little further here, it looks like we've had a battle between Vern Bradley and Jacob Bell. Vern Bradley is going to keep at number 10 spot and actually pull out a little gap over the 77 of Jacob Bell. Meanwhile, going up the 97 of Garrett Robinson, working all over the back bumper there of Hunter McDaniel. As they come through the turn there, he is going to get to that bumper to see if he's going to make a move here on the backstretch.
And the 5 of Gary Woolbot was overtaken by the 64 of Michael Knight and the 86 of Adam Eisenhower on his rear end. Adam has actually gotten 2 laps back ever since he went 5 laps down, and he's determined to get all 3 laps back here before the end of tonight's race. And up front, we do have some more battles going on in the tryover. We're going to try and get in there. Oh, the 97 of Garrett Robinson gives a bad bump. 57 of Hunter McDaniel, which does move him up the track. That was almost ugly, but holy cow, what a save by the 57 of Hunter McDaniel, who will try and gather his thoughts back together, get into this draft, and charge and try and get back take back the 6th place spot from the 97 of Garrett Robinson, who does slow down there to let him take back that position. Oh, no! No! There was very, very limited space there on the inside, but the 57 of Hunter McDaniel did make it work. And 97 of 97 of Garrett Robinson will go back down into the 7th place spot and try and do the crossover move, but the Hunter McDaniel does close the door on him. Oh, the 15 of Hunter goes sideways once again. The 97 of they make contact. They're entering turn 3. They go sideways. Big wreck off turn 4. The 4 of Brent T-bones one of them. And the 57 of Hunter does go on his lid. He just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. Let's back it up. and focus on Hunter McDaniel on replay.
Well, as we go back to our replay, focusing on Hunter McDaniel here, and rewind it, see that battle with the 97 of Garrett. Looks like the back end comes out, some contact, gets around up into the wall, turns into a helicopter, gets hit. That is going to put him on the roof and a barrel roll through the grass. As we are going to rewind this one more time and look from the blimp and see exactly if we can see what happened. But him and the 97 were battling it out. They just was not giving up.
And right now, 7 of Hunter McDaniel does have some heavy smoke coming up from the rear end, but he's able to make it down to pit road for some service. Hopefully he does have his backup truck still handy there, so he can be able to finish up tonight's race here. And going back up front, Dave, we have the top 4 drivers staying out. Tom Wetmore, Matthew Welzenbach, Vern Bradley, and Tommy Amasi, all having 22 laps on their tires as we speak, and everybody else behind them went down to pit road. Well, everybody on the lead lap went down to pit road to get some service, most likely 4 tires with a little bit of gas in order to be able to finish the whole entire race here, because once we go green, we'll most likely have about 5 laps remaining.
Yeah, right now we're at 7 laps to go. We are probably going to have a 4-lap shootout here, so I don't think they're going to have a trouble with fuel here, as we've got the 6 of Tom Wetmore, Matthew Walzenbach, Vern Bradley, Tommy Amasi, and Travis Pryor, your top 5.
That 05 of Tommy Amasi, who he's been keeping low profile like I talked about, but he is back here. He is up front when it really matters the most here. With less than 10 laps remaining, it is go time. It will be a very, very wild finish. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens. This is where you place your bets and see exactly who you think is going to be winning tonight's race. And further back in the pack, we do have Hunter McDaniel, 18th. He did end up getting his backup truck, so he will be able to finish this race with a brand new machine and up to speed. And up in front of him is the 5 Gary Woolbot, 19 Andy Starcher, 71 of Chris Thorman, 97 of Garrett Robinson, unfortunately, has retired for the night. But we do look forward to seeing him and everybody else back for round 3 for the Toyota Tundra 250 at Kansas Speedway next week. And some more heavy movers here. The 75 Rusty Farrell is currently 12th from 26th. 71 Chris Thorman from 27th to 15th at the moment. The 7 of Brian Wasserman from 22nd to 7th as we speak. 05 Tommy Amasi once again 25th to 4th. The 14 of Vern Bradley from 28th. Pretty much, actually, the 14 of Vern Bradley was in last place and is now in 3rd. And that's going to be the heaviest movers we've had so far. And Gary Woolbot then the 24 from 24th to 17th, and has been headed the right direction ever since the drop of the green flag. But he did go down a pit road, which did force him to go to the back of the pack there. We just might be 1 to green this time by. Yes, we are. The lights on the pace car are finally turned off. This is the 1 to green mark. When we go green, we're going to have 4 laps remaining. It is go time. 29 Matthew Welzenbach on the inside with the help of the 14 of Vern Bradley. On the outside, we have the leader, the 6 of Tom Wetmore, with the help of the 05 of Tommy Amasi, going green for the final time this time by. So if we do have another caution, that will end the race under caution.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting, Sean. All these drivers are going to be fighting for these spots. I tell you what, I can't pick a winner out of the top 6 because it's going to be close. These drivers are going to give it everything they got.
Oh yeah, at this point, they would rather bring the steering wheel home, or the checkered flag home, or die trying. By die trying, that means them bringing the steering wheel home. They do enter turns number 3 and 4, going green for the final time this time by once again. Well, Dave, do the honors.
Well, as the pace car comes out of turn number 4, pace car is off. Tommy Amasi is going to keep him at pace speed. He is going to lay it down, catching the 29 of Walzenbach. a little sleepy, but Vern Bradley is going to give Wolzelback a bump, trying to get him back up as they come into turn number 1.
05 Tommy Massey able to block the run of or block the inside against the 81 of Travis Pryor and maintains that 4th place spot. Travis Pryor gonna try and make some moves against him here before turn 3 most likely, but these guys still getting up to speed. Behind it is Fire Marty Ray trying to catch the 50 of Scott Mitten. Scott Mitten right now right in that middle lane, goes back down low. Up front the 81 of Travis Pryor makes a move against 05 of Tommy Massey, which moves him up the track. And up front the 14 of Bradley going against the 29 of Matthew Weldenbach. But the more these guys battle, the more the 6 of Wedmore pulls away, but they do want to still get that. The more spots again. 81 Travis Pryor goes sideways there off turn 2, and we'll lose a lot of spots because of that. Goes from 4th place to 7th place and keeps dropping as we speak. He makes contact there, 24 hard contact. 81 Travis Pryor involved in that. At 24 of Chris debut. There was on his lid after the contact was made. Let's back it up and focus on the 81 of Travis Pryor on replay.
Well, as we pull up our Dre broadcast and replay, we are going to keep an eye on the 81 of Travis Pryor as he gets up to the bumper of 7. He gets a little loose there, makes contact. Gibbu is going to go on his roof as we are going to rewind it again here, taking a look at our blimp as they tried to go 3 wide and just was not able to do it.
Very, very unfortunate. Unfortunately, this is going to end our race under caution here. And going, actually, 81 of Travis Pryor is smoking heavily but determined to finish this race, bring this track home. The truck home. And up front, the 6 of Wedmore is going to bring this home unchallenged. 29 of Weldenbach 2nd. The 14 of Vern Bradley 3rd. 50 of Scott Mitten 4th. 05 Tommy Massey in the 5th place position here. And this is now finally the white flag. And ladies and gentlemen, once the race ends, we will be interviewing the top 3 drivers. The 6 of Tom Whitmore, 29 Weldenbach, 14 of Vern Bradley as well. And at the moment here, before the race ends, let's interview the 50 of Scott Mitten finishing tonight's race in the 4th place spot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the honor of speaking with the 50 of Scott Mitten. Got a cop there, Scott?
I gotcha.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
Not too bad. It was a crazy race.
Oh, it was a crazy race indeed. We saw so many battles on the track. It was very, very difficult to keep up with. And we noticed tonight, Scott, you started in the 5th place spot. But you did end up not staying here in the top 5 for too long. But then towards the end of the race, you came back in the top 5. What was the strategy tonight?
We had some problems on a pit stop, so I had to come back down pit road and fix some damage. And after that, it was just kind of back and forth from the front to the back. And it was just kind of a survival game. If that caution hadn't come out, I was about ready to take 3rd and 2nd there. But I really can't complain with the top 5 after the up and down night.
We're very, very sorry to hear about what you went through tonight, but very, very glad to hear that you pulled through that and secured yourself a top 5, just like where you started in the 5th place spot. So you almost had triple 5s across the board. So you have 5th place practice, 5th place qualifying, and 4th place at the end of tonight's race. That's definitely a success, but you are an amazing driver. You did do the best you could, and in the long run, it did pay out because you did not give up, which does say a lot about you. And next week, Scott, we will be racing at Kansas Speedway. What should we expect to see from you there? At least maybe 3 spots better?
Yeah, 3 spots better would be great. We got the truck hooked up pretty good, running well, so I expect a top 5 finish and, just having more fun racing with these guys.
Sounds good, buddy. We look forward to seeing you again there. That will be the Toyota Tundra 250 at Kansas Speedway. And before the ego, but any final words you'd like to give?
Just good win there, and it was a fun race. Yeah, we'll see everybody next week at Kansas.
Once again, congratulations on your success tonight, and see you again next week at Kansas Speedway. Have a good night.
Thanks, man.
Well, that was the 50 of Scott Mitten, but stay tuned as we try and get a hold of the 6 of Wetmore, 29 of Wesenbach, and the 14 of Vern Bradley. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have all our top 3 drivers up here with us tonight. Race winner, last season's champion, defending champion this season, the 6 of Tom Wetmore. Gonna come up there, buddy.
I sure do, Sean. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great now.
Oh, I bet. And Tom, tonight had been a very, very hard-fought battle. The draft was very, very strong. It did seem like the bottom lane was the place to be for you guys to defend your spots, and the draft just kept you guys bunched up. We saw some guys try to make some moves against you, and you were able to pass the Ford Branco, a post sitter, early on in the race. How's your experience tonight overall, buddy?
It was just insane. This Atlanta Motor Speedway had a lot of grip, and that led to some really competitive racing and a lot of really difficult to pass racing tonight. So, really fortunate to be parked where I am.
And we also had one driver talk about how bad the tire wear was out there and how difficult it might have, how it affected how you guys were basically the handling of the trucks on the bottom lane, and it also affected pretty much the grip. Were you noticing any difference in the tire wear tonight?
Yeah, I mean, after about 7 or 8 laps, the tires pretty much turned to dust, and that made everything really difficult. So, definitely staying out there with 4 or 5 laps to go on 30-lap-old tires, I was sweating bullets.
Oh, I bet. And Tom, last season, like I pointed out, you were the champion of Season 7. And this season, Tom, we do have a lot of new drivers, a lot of new amazing drivers who know how to get the job done and are going to make your life very, very miserable this season. Do you think you still have what it takes to keep them behind you for the most part?
It looked good. It looked a whole lot better this week than it did last week at Daytona, but it's funny, some of the guys from last season are the guys out there rising to the top again this season. Look at Matt and Vern, both up there in the top 3. Curtis was up there in the top 2. I think he had a faster truck than I did early through on the race, so all guys from last season showing that experience from some of the guys who've been here much longer than I have really does pay off.
Oh, absolutely, brother. Well, next week we're going to be racing at Kansas Speedway. Very, very great track as well. Should we expect to see the same momentum shift to that track as well?
I hope so. I mean, it's got left turns. This track has left turns, so hey, they're similar in that aspect, I guess. But besides that, that's pretty much where the similarities end. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
Sounds good, buddy. Well, probably any final words you'd like to say?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys again for all that you do to come out here and promote these races. This DRE, the Dre Broadcasting truck, I'm happy to be able to park it up here for you, but definitely wouldn't be able to drive up here this far if it wasn't for your guys' support. So thanks again for all you guys do, all the competitors here at XtremeMotorsports99.com, and all the guys that continue to stick around season after season. It really shows what kind of quality league the admins put together here.
Well, buddy, I want to congratulate you once again on tonight's win and last season's championship. I look forward to seeing you again next week at Kansas Speedway. Have a good night.
Thanks, Sean. Take care.
And that was your race winner, the 6 of Tom Wetmore. But right behind him is Mr. Super Speedway himself, qualifying second, finishing second, 29, Matthew Wesenbach. Gotta come up there, Matt.
Hey, Sean. How you doing?
Good, and how are you?
Pretty good. Happy to rebound after some troubles I had tonight to finish second. Hey, again, I'll take what I can get after my Daytona race didn't go too well, so here I am.
Yeah, we did notice that you started in second place spot tonight, but then all of a sudden we did not see you in the top 10. You were just pretty much there in the back trying to work your way up to the front and ended up being able to somehow get a second place spot. How were you able to get through all those hardships tonight and get around all these fast drivers and finish in the second place spot?
Well, I'm, not to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty good at Atlanta, especially in this Chevy Silverado. But used some pit strategy after that first caution, wanted to lead a lap, went to the back, wanted to kind of ride around for a bit. Made my way back up to the pack front again, and unfortunately had a little incident that, again, sent me to the back with some damage. Used my quick repair, and then just used some strategy there, took 2 tires at the end and stayed out and hoped for the best, and the best happened. So just, playing it, and passed a lot of trucks tonight, though. I will say I did definitely pass a lot.
Yeah, you did. Going from the back and coming all the way back up to the front here in second place spot. Very, very impressive. Very amazing driving on your part. And Matthew, after racing tonight here at Atlanta, what do you think, or what do you plan on changing or tweaking for before next race at Kansas?
Really, I just need to work on, my qualifying. Tonight I did start second, was I think like 0.005 of a second off of going back-to-back with pole from Daytona and then pole tonight. So definitely made a big improvement over my last season where I was more of a, middle starter and stuff, and just really going for it this season. I feel more confident behind the wheel of this Enders Chevy Silverado, and, just every week take it as it comes, really.
Well, we are very, very glad to hear that. And with your driving style, you won't have any problems succeeding, as tonight you did do an amazing job going from back to front in a very hurry, and also being able to get to the front when it really mattered the most. So it does say a lot about you as a driver, and we do hope that this season goes better than it did last season. And before I let you go, but any final words?
Just having fun, having a blast. Thanks to Rick Donathan for putting this league on still. You guys for broadcasting us these Tuesday evenings. And my Outlaw Jaeger teammate, Zach Kreiser, I think he finished 15th tonight in the 39 Toyota Tundra. So, he had some bad luck, but glad he rebounded a bit. And worked a little bit with Tom and Curtis Vollmer tonight. Definitely had some fun with those guys and hope to work with them again.
Once again, buddy, congratulations on your success tonight, despite all your hardships and troubles. And we look forward to seeing you again next week at Kansas. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys. You have a good night, too.
And that was the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach, but right behind him is the 14 of Vern Bradley, starting in last place and finishing in the 3rd place spot, gaining 25 spots overall. Get a copy there, Vern?
Yeah, I sure do.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good. Pretty good night. Little interesting night. Start from the back, go up to the front, go to the back, and go up towards the front again. So pretty good night for us.
Man, you did do an amazing job. We noticed you just pretty much battling there in the back, working your way up towards the front. And at one point, Vern, we noticed you did seem to have sustained some damage there, where it was was off the pace. And you were just pretty much getting freight and being taken 3 wide left and right. How did you handle that pressure?
You just got to stay calm, and don't let it bother you too much. Run your pace that you can run, and just keep turning off laps.
That is very, very nicely said, and that is very, very commendable as well. And in the long run here, you ended up getting your backup truck and went from back to the front in the 3rd place spot. How the heck was that possible?
Just strategy, driving it, using my head, coming back through the field that last time, and I stayed out on the old tires like the Tom and Matt did, so I kind of stayed on their strategy, and it just worked out for us.
That is very, very glad to hear. And Vern, last season, you ended up you didn't really have the best season. What do you think you would change to have a better season this season, or at least hope to accomplish that you didn't accomplish last season?
I think between last week and this week, I'm changing it the way I need to. I'm definitely seeing the results that I've been capable of for the last couple of seasons. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good season for us.
Sounds good, brother. We look forward to seeing you every single race and seeing you up front. You did do an amazing job here tonight, and we do look forward to seeing the same momentum shift over to Kansas. And speaking of Kansas, how much experience do you have there?
Kansas is another one that I really like. I've ran there very well in the Xfinity car before, so I'm looking forward to next week.
Looking forward to seeing you in the podium, also taking it away from the 6 of Wetmore here, the championship this season. And before I let you go, but any final words?
Yeah, I just want to thank my teammates in Performance Motorsports, Don Kidder and Garrett. Those guys helped me a lot, keep me calm through the race, and I definitely want to thank Rick Donathan and all the admins over at Xtreme Motorsports 99. And I want to thank you guys for broadcasting these races for us and doing such a wonderful job.
Congratulations on your 3rd place finish after being the biggest mover, the heaviest mover in tonight's race. And look forward to seeing you again at Kansas. And we do thank you for the kind words. And have a good night, buddy.
Thank you, guys. You have a good night, too.
And that was the 14 of Vern Bradley. And that does round up and sum up the top 3 interviews, actually the top 4 interviews. Tom Wetmore, Matthew Elzenbach, Vern Bradley, and the 50 of Scott Mitten and Dave. It was an amazing race. So many battles, so much action to keep up with, and it was very, very difficult to keep track because you had so many battles on the track. But that is a very, very good thing. All these guys trying to go from the back to the front, and all the guys and those guys in the back. Working their way to the front was very interesting to watch. Like we saw the 14 of Vern Bradley going from last place to 3rd place. 05 Tommy Massey 25th to 5th. The 7th of Brian Wasserman 22nd to 7th. The 75 Rusty Ferrer 26th to 11th. The 5 Gary Woolbot 24th to 12th. And Hunter McDaniel 23rd to 13th. Very, very impressive. Any highlights from tonight, Dave, that you'd like to talk about?
Oh, I don't even know where to begin, Sean. These guys put on a heck of a show, a heck of a battle. Every position was earned. Nobody just kind of laid back and let them take it. It was just an overall wonderful race to watch. High speeds, high banks, just a great time out there tonight.
Yeah, very, very speechless indeed on my part as well. And also we also look forward to seeing every single driver who had a bad night tonight next week for round 3 for the Toyota Tundra 250 at Kansas Speedway for also another amazing race. And the next race we're going to be having the next broadcast we'll be having is tomorrow night with the CRA Racing Dirt Series with Dave Everly and Tanner Sharp. If you guys would like to see some sideways action on a dirt track, going away from the pavement here on the ovals to dirt races, you can tune in tomorrow for that as well. And thank you once again for joining us for the Great Clips 200 by the Xtreme Motorsports 99 Truck Series here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We look forward to seeing you again for the next race, round 3, the Toyota Tundra 250 at Kansas Speedway. And the next broadcast once again tomorrow night, Dirt Series with the CRA. I am Sean Zulu and Dave Everly behind the cameras. And if you guys have not yet already, if you guys liked what you saw tonight, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get notified every single time we go live with the races. And look forward to seeing you again next broadcast. Have a good night, and thank you for watching.